All right. Ryan's calling in. And he's in. So let's go ahead and get this started. So again, there's only a couple of us here from last week. It was Philly, Skip, Sam, and myself. So we try to keep these as short as possible and as informative as possible. And then also, you don't have to mute yourself, or just make sure that you remember, if you are muted, to unmute, because it is supposed to be interactive, where we're going to go over our own goals, and we're going to go over, kind of what we talked about, any questions, stuff like that. So
real quick, who's viewer 4?
That's Jackie.
All right, so hi, Jackie. Hi, Skip. Hi, Sam. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Hi. And Philly.
Oh, hold on. Philly. Hi, Philly.
Hi, Ryan.
All right, I think I see everybody now.
All right. Here we go. So last week we talked about what is our genius. So what's the one thing or a few things that we do. Not only are we one of the best at, but it energizes us, and we love doing it, and it's something that sets us apart from the rest of us. So for those of us who weren't here last week, this is kind of how it breaks down. So everything that we do has to fit in one of these 4 categories, where it's either incompetence, where time goes slow when we're doing it, we hate doing it, and we spend all of our energy chips trying to get through it. And then doing this work detracts us from the positive experience that we want to have with our job. And then competence, where time still goes slow, we're rewarded for it because we're good at doing it. It still takes a bunch of energy drinks or coffee or caffeine to get through it. And doing work in this zone detracts us from the experience that we want to have. And then the next category, where we kind of want to be in, is excellence, right? Where time is still going at a normal pace. You're excellent at it. You do a great job doing it. You don't necessarily burn through all of your energy chips. You don't gain energy from it, but it's not something where I have to pound a Red Bull just to get through it. And the time spent in this zone is still joyful. We enjoy doing it. And then there's that genius category, where we talked about time flies by. You're so pumped up to do this that you don't spend any energy chips. When you're done doing it, you're like, let's go, that was awesome. You are gifted at this activity. Few others are as equally as good at it as you are. And it's, you get so much joy from it. You wake up and you're so excited to do it, or it's some part of the day that you're looking forward to do. So what I challenged everybody last week, and for the people that are new, if you already know what it is, let's go ahead and try to talk about what is your genius. So we talked about how my genius is performing, whether it's lecturing and teaching new agents, or it's teaching borrowers. My genius is doing the loan application or pre-approval, sitting down with my customer, educating them, sitting down with an agent, educating them, doing the lunch and learns, the workshops, doing this coaching is something that is also my genius that I love doing. So that was mine, and I challenged Philly, Skip, and Sam to try to think of theirs. So let's start with Philly. Philly, were you able to discover what you think your genius is?
Yeah, from a work level, probably any interaction I have with my customers, from taking an application or getting them pre-qualified, telling them what they need to work on, or, even if I can't pre-qualify them, giving them the steps to get them there. I'm kind of a people person, so it doesn't really matter what interaction I'm having with my customer. I can be telling them that I can't pre-qualify them right now, but here's what we're going to do to get you there. And I still enjoy that. It goes quickly. It's not a hassle for me. I think probably dealing with my customers is the number one thing for me.
Okay. So what about, if we flipped it to, if you're using it to generate business, right? So if I'm going to talk to referral partners, whether it's realtors or financial advisors, attorneys, whatever, so is that something that's in your genius? Do you feel I enjoy meeting with new agents, I enjoy talking to them on the phone, or do I enjoy, going out and having drinks with them? Do I enjoy coffee? Do I enjoy one-on-one? I know you talked last week about one of your goals was stopping in at the office, drop off business cards, just having little social interactions. Do you feel like any of that is inside your genius?
Yeah, I feel like anytime I'm talking, I genuinely believe that we are the best company for mortgages. I mean, I came from Huntington where they're definitely not the best company for mortgages. So I've been on both sides. So it's easy for me to talk about what we do and how good we are and how we can benefit our customers, whether that be a realtor or, an attorney, somebody that we can refer back and forth to, or our customer, because I genuinely feel like we are the best, we do the best. So it's easy for me to talk to anyone about what we do.
Perfect.
So I enjoy interacting with people and telling them about, Top Flight and all the benefits that we have to offer.
Okay, awesome. What do you like better, over the phone or in person?
I like in person because then you can see, like, over the phone, sometimes you can't gauge how, how focused someone is on what you're saying or what they're taking away from it. You can't, you're not able to see, how engaged they are in the conversation that you're having. So I would probably prefer to be in person. I know the few stop-ins or the few appointments that I've had at realtors' offices have all been really good, and I enjoyed them and got a lot of great feedback from them. So
perfect.
Probably in person.
Awesome.
I don't
okay.
mind calling over the phone, but
right,
I just feel like I don't get as much.
Well, yeah, so like not minding it that might be inside your competence or excellence. It's not something that you don't mind it, I'll do it. But that's kind of the point. Like, we're trying to recognize what is it that we do that we enjoy doing, we gain energy from it, and that we're very good at. So awesome. All right, thanks, Philly. So Skip, what about you?
What, genius level?
Yeah, what's your genius? So inside your business, like, what is it that you're that you think that you think's your genius?
It would be building relationships, primarily with referral sources.
Yeah. So how?
Yeah, I would say it's number one.
Okay, relationships. How do you do it? So is it? Do you enjoy it over the phone? Do you enjoy one-on-one? Do you enjoy multiple groups? So what is it inside the building relationships that's your genius?
I like the one-on-one. I enjoy doing presentations and stuff like that, but the one-on-one where I can mingle at functions and then any type of calls, or if I can, I don't do a lot of meeting people one-on-one. People won't meet out here that way very much.
Yeah.
But any functions or anything like that are wonderful opportunities where I can meet people, and you don't have to have big in-depth conversations, but you can still build relations. And I have a lot of relationships that go way back. So it's really sometimes just like meeting friends that you haven't seen for a while.
Perfect.
So I would say that's the genius. That's the part I really enjoy. And meeting new people and meeting new banks, meeting new bankers. And I spend almost no time in that level.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Sweet. Thanks, Skip. So, Sam, what about you?
So when it comes to genius, what my big takeaway is and what gives me energy, and I think the biggest thing for me is going to networking events and, bouncing around throughout the whole crowd, or whether it's a Chamber of Commerce, if it's an after hours, networking event, or, golf outing, things like that. I really, really enjoy just going out, shaking hands, meeting new people, and that's really what gives me the energy. I leave at the end of the day, amped up, ready to go. I'm not the greatest at remembering names, so I have to get business cards and write those down. But I think that's going to be my genius, is really just kind of bouncing around and networking at larger events, and kind of building new relationships, things like that.
So the one thing that I will tell everybody, and I'm sure Sam is willing to, because he absolutely loves cold networking events. He gets so amped up. And for me, I don't mind doing them. I think it's in my competence or excellence. So my genius comes from like that second meeting, right, where it's already kind of warm. So if you ever have an event where it's like a golf outing, or you're going to do an after hours event or something that you need somebody to go networking with you, Sam is definitely your guy that you should probably reach out to him. He loves doing it. He's very good at it. He talks to anybody talks to him, and then it just makes out. So we actually did a realtor golf outing on Thursday, and Sam just crushed it with new agents, just talking to them for the first time, and So that is, I can definitely say that is inside of his genius. So perfect. All right. So let's see. So Jackie, I don't know if you're still on or if you left yet. So I don't know if this kind of makes sense to you. Do you have an idea of what you think your genius is?
Yes, I wrote down a couple things.
Cool.
Pretty much talking to customers when I get them on the phone about their goals, making it about them and really listening to what they have to say. I'm pretty good at just sitting back and just let them talk.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
once, you're sitting, it's like the cone of silence, and eventually they just like literally open up because they just feel like they listen to me.
Right.
And then another one that I always like to do is getting past the gatekeepers, like at the real estate offices.
Okay.
Or just right away. But I like the cold calling too. I do love the cold call.
Wow. So that is great to know. So Jackie does all my cold calls. Cool. That's awesome because I hate cold calls. So I think we talked about that last week. So inside like my competence is so when I was pretty slow over the winter, I was calling 30 agents every Monday, asking them how their weekend was, and it helped my business. But I mean, I was pounding Red Bulls. I'd call Ryan for like an hour before I do it. Like, I don't want to do this. Like pump me up. Like, I need some help doing this, and I would do it. But I hated doing it. So that's awesome that is your genius, because the whole idea of trying to develop what your genius is to narrow down exactly what it is first off, and then building your business and building the way that you're going out to do business off of that, right? So I've been talking for the past year and a half about, okay, what can we do to make our process better as far as once we get a new lead into closing, what can we do? Because we were doing stuff that a lot of our time was spent in that incompetence or competence zone. We were getting physically drained, mentally drained, and then we were just getting burnt out, right? And what could we do to make sure that us as a loan officer, when we're coming into work, what are we doing for 50 hours a week that at least outside of that 50, maybe 20 hours I could spend in my genius, as opposed to where I was before, spending an hour or 2 hours. So this is something at Masterminds that one of the best coaches in the nation talked about in great depth, and I really liked it because it did let me focus on, okay, what am I good at? What do I need to do? Because I'm not very good at cold calling. So why the hell am I making 30 phone calls on a Monday if I'm not really good at it and I hate doing it? As opposed to where I could have a list of builders that instead of cold calling, I'm calling them and I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to invite you to this webinar that I'm doing, or I'm going to invite you to this lunch and learn that I'm doing. I'd love to have you stop out. We're going to talk about why there's a recession coming in the next 6 to 12 months, or why it's stupid for somebody to be paying points right now, or I'm going to talk to you about the outlook for the next 2 years, or whatever it may be. And actually, it's going to segue into my next, what we're going to talk about today. This is the thing that we actually printed this out, and we have it hanging on the wall here in Medina, right in front of our cubicles, because what is the value to the customer? What is our value to the customer after the transaction closes? Because I know for a fact, yeah, we have a CRM right now, but I'm not doing anything. Like, as soon as that file closes, I'm like, give me the paycheck, on to the next lead coming in. I'm done. You were a pain in my ass. I'm done. Which is, okay. I at first, when I heard them talk about this mastermind, I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, whatever. What is the value? I'm not much. Who cares? Until a guy I think he already closed 130 million in volume this year alone. So just in the first quarter and a half of the year, he told us this. So the value that we add as loan officers, 30% of our value comes before the transaction ever occurs, 10% during the transaction, and 60% after the transaction. And at first I was like, this guy's crazy. No, it's not. But then he started explaining. So before the transaction, our value is education to process it. Our value is running numbers, talking loan programs, maybe where it is, hey, I have this 10% down conventional product where you have no MI, making a great financial decision for the borrower, because that's what we are. I mean, we are financial advisors. The second that we could take a step away from being a salesman, or just a crummy salesman, to their like a financial advisor, somebody they can put their trust in, that's when where they are not shopping us, where they're not going to make rash decisions, where we're not going to have that troublesome borrower that spends all their money in their checking account and now we're short cash to close. all this kind of stuff. 10% of our value is during the transaction. And to me, I was like, no, I'm in my business. I'm working on these files all the time. What do you mean 10% of my value? We have Sierra, who is fantastic at what she does, and probably one of the best ones that we're going to work with, like a conditions coordinator. That's her job. She knows how to get conditions. She understands everything that's going on. We have a processor. We have our underwriters. We are not adding any value to our customer being involved in the transaction. Maybe a little bit, maybe some to help with, maybe there's a condition that they need to get that was weird, so that's where it's 10%. Nobody says, damn, Michael is one of the best loan officers because he really knew how to upload those conditions to Encompass. Nobody ever says that, especially our customers. They don't, as soon as the transaction closes, they're done, they're on to the next thing. So that's why after the transaction, 60% of our value comes into play. And what that means is it's in the form of like an annual review where we're going to call the customer. This is something that I'm starting to do. Call the customer, and all we do is we talk about how things have been the past year, any new financial questions they have. Did you make a big purchase? Are you thinking about moving? The one thing that we learned was from Barry Habib, who talked about a lot of people have credit card debt. Oh, yeah, the basement flooded, and I had to put $6,000 on my credit card, and then we spent $10,000 at Best Buy, all this stuff, right? So what we need to be having these conversations with is, okay, well, why don't we look at possibly doing a refinance, or why don't we look at, if there's a lot of stuff that you need to get done around the house, there's a $2,000 or $3,000 in your near future. So helping them with these decisions. A lot of webinars. So why are we not sending out a 5-minute video every year to the customer, every 6 months, something to talk about debt management? What are the interest rates doing? Just information, right? Like, they don't know. The biggest thing that I learned is that nobody knows about the mortgage world because they're not in it. So people always have questions. People don't understand what a refinance is. People think that refinances are something like you have to be a special situation or whatever it may be. So that is something that we need to help with our customers. And also to get new business. So no lender is asking agents this question. Think about the agents that you work with. What are these agents doing with customers after the transaction closes, other than sending them emails, sending them from their CRM, right? So only top agents are the ones that are thinking about this. Only top agents are the ones who are doing customer appreciation events, or even doing any sort of marketing to their past customers. So what a good idea was a joint 1-year follow-up calls with the realtor, where the realtor calls with you. You have a 3-way call to the borrower, and the realtor can say, hey, I'm going to do a report. Here's 5 things that you personally can do to increase the value to your home in your neighborhood. So that's a good idea, because now all of a sudden the realtor's telling them they have trust with what they're going to, with the information they provided, and the realtor then will get the transaction when they decide to sell. Customer appreciation events, we talked about that. Joint webinars where we talk about the market. So where the realtor is able to, you could customize a 5-minute video, 4-minute video, 3-minute video. It doesn't even have to be a video of your face. It just could be a PowerPoint with audio, and where you're actually talking about the market for the house. Here's where the average price is per square foot, whatever, and send that with you and the realtor, a little co-branding to the borrower, and then understanding your real estate wealth. So that's what we tell agents. Your value that you add is you're creating wealth with this customer through equity in the home. So provide a little report that says, here's what you bought your house for. Here's what I think it's worth right now. Here's your net equity. And here's what you could do with it if you decide to sell. Here's the purchasing power, and then tag team with you to show this would be a great down payment on this amount of house, and this house you could get for the same payment, stuff like that. So this is something that Sam and I started talking about. What are we going to do for the customer after the transaction, and also challenging new agents that we work with, because no other lender, every other lender is going to meet with them, and they're going to do the whole I want to learn about your business, I want to help you with leads, I want to help you this, and this. I guarantee you, if you ask one agent this week about this, what are you doing after the transaction closes with your customers? They're going to go, yeah, I don't know, add them on Facebook and then just keep posting pictures of like houses, great. That's nothing. They're probably going to end up removing you as a friend. So this is something that we're doing with new agents. This is something that we're doing with our current agents we're working with, just, again, to help reinforce, stay in front of the customer, and be different, setting ourselves apart from the rest of the competition. So that's all I got for today. You'll have copies of that. Trying to see here. Yeah, okay, I got all your goals. So we talked about 2 goals for the week, 1 business, 1 personal. Philly, yours was call and drop business cards off?
Yeah.
At a couple of real estate offices. So how'd that go?
Well, what I was going to do was call the realtor that I.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Call.
Yeah.
Call. Yep.
So,
Okay.
and
How'd
I
that
did
go?
that. I had sent her an email earlier in the week, and then I waited till like Wednesday and called her. She didn't answer, but I still made the attempt, and I sent her another email Friday, just following up. And I don't want to like pester, but I'm not gonna just accept you not answering my call. So.
Right. So cool. All right. So, has she responded to your emails yet?
No.
You guys are working on a deal together, right?
No, we had a customer that we were working to help, but they're not legally here. So
Okay.
we can't do anything for them, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it was a good interaction. She was very appreciative, but she's just, normal realtor.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And then you had one with a date with the husband. How'd that go?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You had one where the personal goal was a date with your husband. How'd that go?
Oh, yeah, good. It wasn't exactly a date that, like, dinner date. We were buying this property, and he needed help navigating through a jungle. So I went out pregnant and helped him cut trees and brush so that the surveyors can hopefully get their job done, like, sometime in the near future. So, but it was fun because my husband and I never get to go and just be me and him. So it was actually fun. We had a lot of fun.
Okay, perfect. All right, so give me one business goal for the week. So something that's going to get you, that's going to help you generate new business, something that you want to try to accomplish this week.
So I have a couple deals that we're just like waiting on things, and I want to follow up with them, I guess, and get them moving forward. I think a little bit of it is them just being a little lackadaisical and not staying on top of things. So. Okay,
so you have 2 deals, you said?
Yeah, I've got 2. One, probably sooner than the other for sure, but just keep following up with them. I don't want them to forget about me.
Yeah, can I give you a goal?
Sure.
All right, so the list agents, are they going to have list agents? Like for the purchase?
I don't know on the one. I haven't. They said they found a property, but I'm not 100% sure. I know they were originally working with a realtor. But I'm not sure if they still are. So I don't know, but I'll know shortly.
Yeah, so when you get the purchase contract, so the list agent, go ahead and give them a call, introduce yourself, say hi, and then ask if they have any questions for you. Talk up your borrowers to them, tell them how great the borrowers are, yada yada yada, and then just tell her that you're going to call her once a week, and you would love to, or you look forward to working with her in the future. So not even a solicit call, not even like a sales call. All you're just introducing yourself, talking about the borrowers, and then setting the precedence for next week that you'll call her with an update next week.
Okay.
All right, cool. So list agent. All right, Skip, I got your goals. Organize office and review the process flow. You want to look at some time blocking as well. So how do those goals go?
Pretty well. I've got the new process flow down with the revisions. I'm adopting it now. I've got I have 2 apps going in today. I'm just going to let Mary Jo completely set those up, and then so I did make, and I'm using the same time blocking sheet that Ryan uses. So I've had that. I started it and never really used it, but I'm using it. So I made pretty good progress. I did not make any progress on my personal goal, which was to finish the wall boarding in my basement office.
Right.
My car took priority over that because I had car issues and I do my whole car work. So that supplanted me, but I will try. I'm going to recommit to that. So my goals for this week will be finish the wall boarding in my office.
Perfect.
And finish, for business, it'll be finish organization, which includes reviewing the CRM and making sure that all my realtors are in there, so that on Monday morning I can call through a whole list, just blast through the list and see if anybody has any people I can help them with. And I'm going to do that every Monday. And we'll see how that, I suspect that's going to generate a fair amount of business.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Sam had 2 new meetings, and he wanted 2 new meetings, and then 20 realtors? And Jim once a day.
Yeah, so that was my goal. And kind of on the same line with Skip. So I did make a bunch of calls this week, and it actually went really well. I did end up meeting with 2, it wasn't new realtors, but it was realtors I haven't worked with in a while, and that actually worked out really good. I got to catch up a little bit and, kind of just talk about business. I didn't really ask them for business, but it was more of just getting, back acquainted with them, how's everything going. We met with a couple people at the golf outing, so I guess you can count that. And then the gym, that was a tough one. I hated every minute of it, but this week, yesterday, I enjoyed going to the gym. So it took a week to break out of the habit of not going, and this week I'm excited to go to the gym. So I would say it's a successful week.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what do you got for this week then? What's your goals for this week?
So it's kind of like Skip said. I want to organize my list of top realtors, my top VIP people, which are like either financial advisors or divorce attorneys, things like that. I want to get all that organized and start making phone calls. So that's kind of my business goal, is to organize my list of past clients, top realtors, and just VIP referral partners. I want to get that all organized so I can start making consistent calls and keep those relationships, together.
Awesome. All right. So my goals were 2 new face-to-face meetings with realtors. I actually met with 5 new agents. Well, 2 agents I've been trying to call in. I've met 3 new ones, and then I also met with some agents there at the golf outing, so that's nice. So the goal for this week is actually no new, just follow-ups with the agents that we met with on Thursday, and also the follow-ups with the agents that I sat down face-to-face. I got a couple things I wanted to send their way to help with their business, but those are mine. And a personal goal is I did not do the date night with my wife, so I'll carry that over this week. So hopefully I can do that this week. Ryan's on the call. He's new. Give us some goals. Give one goal for business, one personal.
My goal for next week is to be completely unplugged, and my personal goal for next week is to be completely unplugged.
Yeah, that's bullshit. He's going on vacation. All right. Well, that's all right. So that's it. So about 5 minutes over. So we'll have this call recorded. Hopefully, this gave you, you can see my screen where we talk about what is the value of the customer after transaction closes, get your mind tickering a little bit. If you guys have any questions about it and kind of what we're doing, reach out to me individually. But other than that, work on your goals. I'll send the email out towards the end of the week. Make sure we're on pace to hit them, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll see you guys. Ooh, everybody jumped out quick.